Hi, Dallas. How are you today? How many of you are like me and absolutely are obsessed with avocado? Today, we have a really, really special guest because they've built an entire restaurant all focused on avocado, and they just recently opened it up. Our guest today, David Spirito from Avocados from Mexico and AvoEatery, is here with us today. David, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing out there?
I'm great, and I'm sure everybody else is great, especially since they're going to see your demonstration. David is going to show us some creative and delicious ways to make some guacamole today. So we're so happy to have you with us. Before we get started, and I do want you to demonstrate everything for us, but before you do, can you tell us what inspired AvoEatery? What's the inspiration behind the restaurant?
Yeah, I mean, the inspiration was really simple. When you look at the popularity of avocados over the last couple of years, I mean, anytime you go on social media, you cannot find a well-liked photo or caption that does not have avocados in it. So, the inspiration for us was let's develop a concept that we can take and actually have avocados in every dish. Now, part of my role with Avocados from Mexico is we work with a lot of large food service operators to show them how to utilize avocados better, more efficient, reduce waste, give the guests what they want. So for us to open our own restaurant, we really had skin in the game. We partnered with the Trinity Go Grows team to open this restaurant. Now, our partnership is 50-50. They run and operate the restaurant. We are the marketing and innovators behind it.
Wow.
So again, the inspiration was let's show more avocados in different ways.
Well, thank you for bringing that to Dallas. We're better for it, for sure. I didn't realize that's how Trinity Go Grows operates. What an exciting way to be in business in a partnership with such an amazing group over there, huh? Talk
Yeah,
about that for a minute.
yeah. I mean, Phil Romano. I mean, he's excellent. He's one of the better restaurateurs that has probably been on the scene. The Trinity Groves area, they have hit after hit, successful restaurant after successful restaurant. So, it was an honor to partner with them. Their operations are second to none. They have some really great leaders in place that have seen this concept from, inspiration start to where we are today, finished. So it's been an amazing journey so far. We're looking for a long road with them, a lot more successes. But to me, this is just the start of some really great works together.
Absolutely. Yeah. Phil Romano is the name of restaurants in this city for sure. He's done a lot of amazing things. And yeah, who doesn't love Trinity Groves? It's been such a great addition to Dallas. So I certainly love to go eat there. And now with AvoEatery there, it's another great place to join in on the fun. So many of us are fanatical about avocado. Can you talk about some of the creative dishes that you guys have made with avocado?
Yeah, I mean, the innovation didn't start with AvoEatery. It doesn't stop with AvoEatery. Like I said, our role is to really inspire chefs around America to use fresh avocados from Mexico. But some of the great works that we've done with the Trinity Groves team, the grilled shrimp and avocado salad. That's the one, when you go to the webpage, the landing page of that beautiful fan avocado round, really takes on Southeast Asian profile, which avocados really pair well with. We have the avocado flight, which we'll talk about here in a second, but we developed an avocado hummus. We have a hard-boiled egg avocado. Then we have a spicy and a mild to really balance it off. And then, some of the fun projects were desserts and cocktails. A lot of times when we talk to operators, we really don't put avocado in dessert. It's a fruit. Why not? And so, we did an avocado brownie with avocado ice cream, which is just amazing. It has a coconut caramel sauce. We have a avocado mousse, which is just light, fluffy, and decadent. And then we have an avocado popsicle with, fresh toasted coconut in there, which is really, really good. But our avocado cocktails, the guidance was, let's not make green frothy cocktails. Let's showcase avocado a little bit different. And so, we're using avocado honey, from the bloom, the bee pollen, using the avocado honey in some drinks. We're using the avocado leaves. We make a tea from that, and we reduce that down and we put that in our drinks. But a lot of the projects have been great. My favorite, and I challenge a lot of people out there, I think our avocado burger is one of the best in Dallas. It's the fresh ground beef. We patty it every day. It's a soft potato bun, melted cheese. We have an avocado Thousand Island in there, and then we just do this beautiful fan of avocado on top, served with crispy fries. It's one of those things, like I tell people, it's healthy. It's got avocado in it. You can have two of them. So, but that's my favorite one.
Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering. I'm thinking, God, that sounds really good right now. And who would have known? I mean, it goes to show you why you need an educational team behind you guys helping to promote this fruit, because it is so versatile. I mean, who would have thought that it can be used in, well, you did, but I didn't realize how many ways avocado can be used. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about the fruit itself, it's high in fat, high in good fat. It's pliable. It's either firm or pliable. So, we've done some at AvoEatery. We have some recipes that have pickled avocados. So we take some very firm avocados, we slice them paper thin, and we pickle them. If you have a very soft avocado, we make dressings or vinaigrettes with them. It works as an emulsifier. Avocado being much healthier than mayonnaise, if the end result is not only rich and flavorful, but you have something a little bit healthier for you. So we try to really stretch the boundaries of avocado, especially in innovation. In our test kitchen, we have a culinary center in Irving, Texas, that we work out of. We've made avocado pasta. We've made avocado cheesecake, avocado cinnamon rolls. We've tried making avocado froth for lattes. So, we're consistently trying to, change the game with avocados. We just need to get the word out. We need to evangelize it more.
Amazing. Yum. Yum all the way around. So I can't wait to see this flight that you're going to make for us and all the different ways that you can make guacamole, because that's always a crowd pleaser. So show us. Show us what you got.
So what I'm going to do today is really focus on our base guacamole. Now, this is a staple in our house here, but it's also the base for all of our guacamole or avo mash that we use in the restaurant. Unfortunately, my local grocery store didn't have some of the ingredients, so we're just going to focus on what we have today. So what I have here is I have 2 avocados. What we call these, we call them about a stage 5, right? So nice and soft, ready to use. This is when you touch the avocado and you put pressure to it, it should not resist, right? So if you wanted to put your thumb through it, you probably could, but you want something nice and soft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, we use an avocado tool, not only in our restaurants, but with a lot of our operators, because we don't want a lot of accidents around there. So we're just going to pop the seed out here as we go, put that there. And I'm just going to have my little mixing bowl here. I'm just going to take my nice fresh avocado, and I'm just going to kind of dice some lines into it. And I'm going to scoop it out. And I use this spoon that we have to scoop it out. And I want to get everything in there. Because I am making a guacamole or a mash, utilize all the pieces of the avocado, even the little pieces of pulp that are stuck to the skin. You don't want to waste anything. Avocados not only are versatile, where you can utilize the whole thing, but they're also a great item for, like right now, under quarantine. I can buy avocados at the restaurant, at the grocery store that are a little firm, and I can hold them up to 3 to 4 days in my kitchen and not really worry about them going bad. So we're just going to do this again, the second avocado here. I like using the softer avocados when I make guacamole or vinaigrettes or marinades, because there's less work involved with them. Now, when I'm doing, like, let's say a grilled avocado, where I just want to cut it in half and put it on the grill, I'll buy something a little harder so it actually keeps in place. You know, as we mentioned earlier, if I was doing a nice pickled avocado slice for my tuna melt or my burger, I would get a nice firm avocado and just kind of use pickling jalapeno liquid or regular pickle juice. So I have 2 full avocados in here, nice and soft. What we're going to do next is we're going to utilize a serrano pepper. Now, a serrano chili has great flavor. Now, serranos right now have a little heat to them. You can tell by smelling the pepper, the spicier it smells, the spicier it is. So what we want to do is we actually want to take out some of the seeds. And when you take out the seeds, you actually reduce the heat levels on them. So I'm going to take out some of these seeds here. I'm going to put that aside and do the same here. One of the things that we like to do with our guacamole at AvoEatery is build on the freshness. And by saying that is we have a base guac that we're making here today that we make every day in-house to order, but we layer in fresh ingredients. And I think that's where we have an advantage over a lot of other restaurants, is because we consistently use fresh ingredients. So I'm going to add about 1 serrano pepper that has been cleaned of seeds. So we'll definitely remove all of the heat in there. Because I think when you're having guac, you can control the heat by adding more heat. You can never take the heat out. So be very careful as you're doing it, especially understanding not every guest in your house likes hot peppers. And so now we have some onion. I pre-diced up the onion because it was one of those things that you're either going to cry on camera or you're not. So I don't want to cry on camera. So we're going to add a little bit of onion. We have some fresh cilantro. We're going to add some nice freshness there. And again, building off fresh ingredients. What you don't want to do is you don't want to spend the time to have nice fresh avocados and then add, canned items to it. Keep it nice and fresh, keep it nice and light. So what I'm doing here, I'm just giving it a nice toss and a mash. Because the avocados were very soft at stage 5, as I'm turning it, it's mashing itself. You can control the amount of chunks you want in it. I like having chunks in my guacamole. The reason why is it shows it was made fresh. If something is super smooth, it's probably frozen, right? We don't want to talk about frozen. So we want to control, how many chunks we have in that. So I'm just doing a nice fold into that. So we added our serrano pepper, we added our nice diced red onion, and we added our cilantro. That's kind of the base to most of our guacamole mixes. Is you have avocado, you have a chili pepper or a heat source, you have an onion. Now you can use Texas sweet, you can use a white onion, a yellow onion, you can add a red onion, you can add garlic, fresh garlic to it. This one, we don't have that. And then a little bit of fresh cilantro. We're going to add a little tomato in here. My suggestion is, if you're going to eat the guacamole fresh right now, add tomato. If you're making guacamole that you're going to have for tomorrow for a party, don't add tomato. What's going to happen with your tomato is the moisture is actually going to leach out into your guac, causing it to get really watery, and then your tomato skin is going to get very tough. So because we're going to eat this right now, we're going to add our tomatoes. If we're not going to eat it right now, we probably just wait on it. So we're going to add a little bit of our tomato, gives it a little bit of color. And then we're going to add some fresh lime. Again, if you're going to go through the trouble of having fresh ingredients, please have some fresh lime. So we're just going to add 1 lime, which is going to help in 2 ways. 1, it's going to stop oxidation or browning in the guacamole. And 2, it's going to add a great flavor. I'll get my hands a little bit there. Okay, and then salt. Salt is probably one of the most important ingredients while dealing with avocados, along with citrus. But salt definitely helps with flavor. Again, avocados being high in fat, you need something to really amplify those flavors. So we're going to add a really nice amount of salt. And the salt I'm using is actually a coarse ground kosher salt. I like the texture of that. I like the flavor of kosher salt better. So that's what we use in the restaurant. And so now, as we talked about, we have this beautiful, nice, fresh guac that took me, I think, 4.5 minutes here to make. And we're going to serve it with some nice tortilla chips here. And I think, one of the things that you can do at home during quarantine, not only is make a lot of guacamole, but you can actually batch this. Like we talked about, if you want to take a lot of, let's say you buy a couple avocados and they are going soft on it, you can go ahead and make a base mash of avocado pulp, a little bit of citrus, and some salt, and put it in a Ziploc bag, squeeze all the air out. It'll stay in your fridge for up to 2 days. So you can actually utilize it a little bit better for time better. But as we talked about, this is our base guacamole that we use in a lot of our recipes at AvoEatery. As we talked about the flight or the variations, so this one here, this would be what we call our mild, right? We have a little bit of the serrano chili in there, those seeds keep the heat out. If we wanted to bring it to the hot level that we have, we add the seeds back in. So we would take this batch here, cut it in half, and then the seeds that we reserved, we would fold those back in to make it a spicy. From this here, we use this in those two ways. We also, as mentioned, have a hard-boiled egg guacamole. So it would be the avocado base. So the avocado, the citrus, and the salt, topped with hard-boiled eggs. We dice those as well. So you get this really nice flavor combination from the hard-boiled eggs to the nice, guacamole base. The other flavor in the flight we have is we have the avocado hummus. So we make a scratch hummus, garbanzo beans, tahini, a little bit of citrus, a little salt, and then we fold in a puree of fresh avocado to give it that hint of green. But what it also does, it gives it this great creaminess. So those are the ones we have here and at AvoEatery. Now at our culinary center in Irving, we do a wide variety of guacamoles. And, when we're doing these educational classes, one of my favorites is actually a wasabi guacamole. So we take it, we basically build it the same, no tomatoes, but we add wasabi to it to give it a little bit of heat. We add a little yuzu, give it a little bit of citrus and soy, and then we sprinkle it with toasted sesame seeds. And instead of serving it with tortilla chips, we serve it with crispy wonton chips. So it's definitely a different play on guacamole, but a lot of the operators we've shown us to really enjoy it. And then we look at it as, this crispy item here is the vessel. So, if it's crispy and you can hold stuff in it, is it a crispy pork rind? Is it a wonton skin? We've done a lot of work with how do we look at avocados and potato chips. And, we developed this great recipe of like a loaded bacon guacamole that works great with crispy potato chips. So it's our base guac, so avocado, a little bit of citrus, and a little bit of salt. And then we add nice thick cut bacon, chopped into that, a little bit of blue cheese, and then a little bit of top it with a little bit of hard-boiled eggs. So you get that really nice loaded, smoky, creamy guacamole that goes well with potato chips. So we've done a lot of innovation around guacamole, and the possibilities are endless. Again, we've done Moroccan profiles, we've done South American, Peruvian. And it's funny because through innovation, you always have a fail, right? You always have these great ideas that everyone talks about, but there's always this fail that no one talks about. We've not had many failing ideas. We've even played around one with peanut butter. It was like, it's odd, but it's pretty good, And so we're not ready to release that one yet, but we've definitely been working hard with innovation.
Oh my! There's definitely nobody watching right now that isn't gonna have avocado today. It's impossible. I mean, again, the creativity behind it is so amazing. And, I think right now more than anything, You know, I was driving this morning and thinking we need creativity in our lives right now. Like it's time for that. So thank you for inspiring us to go beyond just the traditional guacamole and really, you know, use our creative madness. Or the other thing that we could do is just call AvoEatery and order from you guys directly. Will you tell everybody, because I know you guys are open for business, you're ready to serve. How do we order and what are you guys offering right now?
Yeah, so we're open for business. Trinity Grows is doing an awesome job of keeping the restaurants open, and this is a very difficult time. This is unprecedented times right now in the restaurant world, in the regular world. And so we're open. We're doing pickup and delivery right now. Where online delivery channels are open to order through AvoEatery. Postmates for anyone local down there is doing the delivery or pickup. We still have all the great menu items that we started with. We scaled down a couple just to make sure that we don't accrue waste and labor concerns. It's tough to have everyone down there right now. But pick up and delivery. That's going to be the best thing for you right now. Go online, utilize all the delivery channels you normally would, and order some great AvoEatery.
Absolutely. And your website is avoeatery.com. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. On that website, which is a beautiful website, but you've got great displays of a lot of your menu items. You've got a lot of social pictures and a lot of creativity. So I would suggest if you are in the mood for some amazing food and some amazing avocado infused food, go onto avoeatery.com, take a look at all the deliciousness that they're offering and order it up. Chef, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And again, anything you can do to help out AvoEatery and help out the restaurant world, it is greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Well, we're in it for you. Dallas, let's support our local restaurants. AvoEatery is open and ready for business, and go out there and give them some business. Thank you again. I appreciate it, David.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Talk to you guys soon.